Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at the Vedic astrology chart using sidereal zodiac, not Western tropical zodiac, for Brad Pitt. If we look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see that the constellation associated with sign of Scorpio is rising at 12 degrees. 12 degrees becomes the most effective point of every house. Any sign, any one of the planets that are within 5 degrees of 12 degrees, like Rahu and Ketu, which are not planets but planetary nodes of the moon, also Jupiter's within 5 degrees, they have a lot of impact, as well as Mars. Now, if we wanted to see what this person came to learn about in this lifetime, we would look to see where the Multikona signs fall. These numbers reflect the signs that are in each of the houses. Each of the houses represents some aspect of Brad Pitt's life. So the Multikona signs are 1, Aries, Mars for Aries, so he's learning about healing, and then 11 for Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, happiness and home life and property. Then 9 for Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. So this is the house of wealth and fame and stability in the marriage. And then 7, which would be Libra, ruled by Venus. Spiritual growth through letting go of attachments. Then we have Virgo, 6th sign, ruled by Mercury in the 11th house of income, social connections, and fulfillment of desires. Then we have the 5th sign of Leo, ruled by Sun, working on career. And then we have the 4th sign of Cancer, ruled by Moon, in the 9th house. So he's working on good fortune, belief systems, etc. So let's see how the planets are operating, and then we'll see when they're operating, timing of events in his life, and then what we could do to remedy the chart. So Sun is at 2 degrees, and you can see he has a stellium of planets here, 5 planets in the house of wealth and fame. So a lot of emphasis on wealth and fame, and also the marital bond. So it's conjunct Moon, so that it gives him the 4th house is good for the Sun is the career house, so it gives him a career through. Sun itself has to do with leading roles, so wealth and fame. And his ability to have these leading roles gives him an acting career. Moon is at 2 degrees. Now, anything less than 5 degrees or greater than 25 is said to be in infant state or old age. And so these planets that, like Sun and Moon, are weak, and they need to be strengthened. So this Moon gives good fortune. It's ruling the house of good fortune through public performing in the public, in front of the public, and through travel. Then we have Mars, which is any planet, any Multikona sign that rules the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th house can be challenging. So here we have Mars in that 6th, ruling the Aries in the 6th house, and we have Libra ruled by Venus in the 12th house. So those two can be challenging planets. So and it's close to the most effective point. So it's also afflicted by Rahu and Ketu. So there can be health issues, there can be accidents, there can be conflicts in the marriage and divorce as well. All of that comes from that house. And then you place Mars in that house of marital stability, so then a lot of conflicts with the marriage. Then we have Mercury is at 22 degrees, close to the most effective point. Now, more thing about Mars. He's very interested in design and architecture. So Mars is all about that. And then he's in a lot of action movies as well. So Mars is action. Mercury is at 22 degrees, and it's close to the most effective point, so it has a lot of impact. It's afflicted by Rahu and Ketu, and it gives income through communication. And so yeah, it's just barely afflicted by K2 and Rahu. So yeah, it gives moon through it gives wealth and fame through communication and income. Uh, so communication in terms of how he communicates his roles in these acting movies. Jupiter is at 16 degrees, and so it is close to the most effective point as well, and it gives wealth and fame and continued marital stability, 2 divorces, through entertainment. So Jupiter's in the house of entertainment, and there's Jupiter also represents children in his chart, and it aspects the ninth house, the 11th house, and the first house. Venus is malefic, could cause challenges at 0 degrees, very weak, but it gives him, his handsome looks. For he was actually a sex symbol, and the ability to separate himself from himself so he can take on acting roles. It also represents wife and the end of marriages, as well as living in foreign places, which he had to do a lot for many of his acting roles. Saturn is at 25 degrees, and it's afflicted by Venus, and it represents happiness through home life, which is he struggled with. The marriages have failed. Rahu and Ketu, they're teaching him how to balance material wealth and spiritual vulnerability. So let's look at the timing of events. In 1997, he split with Gwyneth Paltrow, and that was during a, let's see here, during a Venus period, which is like end of marriage again. And then he got together with Jennifer Aniston in 2000. That was during a Sun period. They met, through their career. And then they split in 2005. So that's during a Jupiter period, which also has to do with the stability in the marriage. In 2006, he had a daughter. So that was during a Jupiter period. Jupiter represents children in his chart. 2020, he got an Oscar. That's during a Saturn period. Let's see, Jupiter, Rahu. 2020. Yeah, during a Saturn period. And then in 2016, he split with Angelina Jolie during a Jupiter Mars Rahu in the 10th house, and so this she claimed that he abused their son and turned into a huge custody battle. So you can see this chart is quite accurate and really talks about many of his issues. And if you look at 2016, yeah, Jupiter, Mars. Mars is also this conflict, divorce. So, what could we do to strengthen the chart? So, everything except for Mars and Venus, we want to strengthen, and Rahu and Ketu. So, we want to strengthen those with a kavash containing the Devata yantras, which you can get a kavash for your sign at our website, vastucreations.com. It's a very powerful way to strengthen your weak planets and help you move through life more gracefully. And then for Rahu and Ketu, as well as Jupiter, as well as Venus and Mars, help those who cannot help themselves through charity. So he's on several charity. He's a philanthropist, and he helps out several charities. So he's already doing the remedies for this chart. So thank you for listening. If you're interested in getting a Vedic astrology reading, you can go to www.vastucreations.com. And also we have courses there to get certified in Vedic astrology as well. So go under services at Vastu Creation or courses. Thank you again for listening. We'll see you next week.